Hey there everyone, Bob here, and welcome back to Gamer Nutrition. I guess this is going to be the 1 month update on the ketogenic diet, how things are going. I did intend to do a video basically every weekend. I wanted to get out one update every week on how things were going. It didn't happen, mainly because of combination of not feeling great because of the ketogenic diet at first. Also, work really got in the way. So on the ketogenic side of things, when I say not feeling great, I don't want to oversell this like, oh, I was bedridden or anything. No. What happened was for the 3 to 4 week period, the starting off of this, there was significant amount of brain fog, also headaches, especially in the morning. So that 10, 12 hours after I last ate before the first meal. So generally starting around 8 o'clock in the morning till about noon or 1 o'clock, there was just a notable, it wasn't like a migraine, it wasn't a terrible headache, but a persistent brain throb. Just as, I'm low. It almost felt like the brain was low on glycogen, whatever the brain needs to function. It felt like the brain was just a little low. So it just wasn't functioning as good as it was supposed to. And it gave this little bit of a headache, a little bit of a brain fog. Well, these videos, I like to record them either Saturday or Sunday morning. So I record them, edit them out, get them rendering, and then I can go do my errands or whatever, get out of the house and stuff. Especially Sundays, I can edit them, and then while they're rendering out, I watch football, and then come back and start uploading, go back and watch some more football. It's a great time to do this. Well, I found that I'd sit down at like 9 o'clock in the morning in front of the computer, and just the fog combined with the headache made it very tough to do videos. I also learned that when I tried to do the videos in the evening, this room doesn't have the lighting to pull it off. As if the sunlight isn't coming in, the room's just not bright enough. I need to look into maybe doing some lighting or something in here to correct that. But once the sun starts going down, I can't record. So I'd get home from work, 6, I'd eat, be done eating 7:30, 8 o'clock, and it was just too dark to record. So that's what's happened. Now, 1 month update. So at this point, I'm down essentially 20 pounds in 1 month, 19, 20, right in there. Yesterday, I weighed myself. I was 279.2 or something like that. This morning, I was 280.3, but it's fluctuating. I'm essentially losing 1 pound every 3 or 4 days at this point. So there was the initial heavy weight loss of like 11 pounds the first week, 12 pounds the first week, which 8 or 10 of that was probably water weight. That's balanced out, and now it's 1 pound every 3 or 4 days, which I think is perfect. That's kind of where I want to be. You don't want to go too fast. If you go too much and you're losing 5 to 7 pounds a week or more, you can do some crazy things to your body, put your body in the shock. It can also put you in a starvation state. 1 to 2 pounds, from my understanding, is actually kind of the ideal weight loss to be at. So I'm okay with that, and it's working quite well. I'm considering myself at 280. By Tuesday, I'll be at 279. By Friday, I'll be at 278, and it's just going to continue to go down like that. At least I think so. The brain fog and headaches are gone at this point. I'm recording this. It's now almost 11 o'clock, but I played a few games of World of Warships this morning because triple XP, yay! So I had to get a few games of that in before I started doing all this stuff. Also gave me time to drink my coffee. Coffee. What was I saying? Oh, the brain fog and headaches are gone. Some of this is probably the fact that I am now keto adapted. That's likely the cause. But there was some odd things that other variables that went into it. I'm going to do separate videos on these, but I was looking into possible reasons for why I had the brain fog, why I wasn't feeling very good, and this led me down several rabbit holes. One of the rabbit holes went into the fact that your liver can be limited in how well it breaks down fat based on how much bile it has. If your liver is low on bile, you're not going to be able to convert as much fat over into the ketones needed to create energy. So one of the common things is to take a bile salt. Well, looking into this video about bile salts and all this stuff also led me down another rabbit hole tied to the thyroid. Apparently, the salts that the liver uses to convert fats is also extremely important in the use of converting T4 to T3. Now, T4 and T3 are thyroid hormones, which are basically your metabolic drivers. They're used to control your entire metabolic system. T4 is one thyroid hormone with 4 iodine. T3 is one thyroid hormone with 3 iodine. Your thyroid creates T4, which goes to the liver, and the liver converts roughly 60% of the conversion of T4 to T3. It removes one iodine hormone hormone, not hormone, but iodine molecule, which then the T3 is used much more. So your body has both T4 and T3 going through it at all times. The more energy you need, the more the liver takes this one iodine off of the thyroid hormone, making it T3, because the T3 is just like 60-80% more effective for the cells to use for energy, or the communication for the cells to use for energy. Anyway, if you're low on liver bile, low on bile in your gallbladder, it will limit how efficiently you convert T4 to T3. Well, I have a terrible thyroid. Since I was 10 or 12, I've been on thyroid medication, and I'm on a massive amount of it. Now, I'm a hypothyroid, which means my thyroid is low. Most people that have a low thyroid, they're on a synthetic T4 medication. Essentially, you take synthetic T4 of a certain amount, so your liver can then convert it over as needed. And a lot of people, they take anywhere from like 75 to 150 milligrams of this T4, synthetic T4. I take 225 milligrams, more than double, or roughly double, what most people take. It's ridiculous how much I take, to the point where I've seen several endocrinologists, which are glandular blood doctors, they specialize in this thing, and like the one doctor was like, I don't know of anyone, I've never in my entire career seen anyone take that much. And the other one's like, yeah, you're 1% with how much you take. So, bad thyroid. I found out that the gallbladder and the liver and the bile salts and all of that are super important for breaking down fats. They're also super important for that conversion of T4 to T3. And if you're not converting T4 to T3, your body is going to be kind of freaking out, and it throws your thyroid, throws everything all off. So, I picked up, nope, that's the wrong one. Got to grab the right bottle. I picked up some of this stuff. Oxbile. We're going to cover the name because I'm not sponsored. It doesn't really matter. Got this off Amazon. It sounds nasty. It is the bile removed from the liver of oxes, and I think they do it with the ox alive, and they just withdraw it out with a syringe or something, and they dry it out. But I've started taking these with every single meal. One with my coffee, which isn't really a meal, but I take one in the morning with my coffee. One with my first meal that I break, generally around 1 o'clock, and then one more with my dinner around 6 or 7 o'clock. And within 48 hours, I was feeling significantly better. On top of that, I started taking this, thyroid support. Now, this is supposed to be like a natural remedy in order to not have to take that synthetic T4 hormone. This is primarily iodine, which your thyroid needs to make the T4. It's thyroid hormone plus 4 iodine. So it's primarily iodine, and also selenium, which is used, I forget, somewhere within it. I'll get into all this in another video. Anyway, I started taking the bile on Saturday. I started taking this on Sunday just because they arrived on different days on my door. By Monday, the brain fog, the headaches were gone. Just gone. I think from Monday through now, Saturday, I had 1 mild headache for like an hour and a half, and it was literally after I ate. It was like for 30 minutes after I ate, I had a little bit of a headache, and then it went away. But the energy levels are better. The headaches are gone. The brain fog is gone. I'm feeling pretty sharp. I'm maybe not 100%, but I'm darn near 100% where I was in terms of mental capacities and all of that. Even first thing in the morning, 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock in the morning, when I've only had my coffee, and still feeling really, really good. So that's great. What I think has been going on is, I think there were 3 things that happened within that. Is it 3 or 2? I haven't actually figured out this part of the video. So one was I continued to convert over and become keto adapted, and I finally became fully converted to keto adapted. But I think what was happening, why the brain fog was so bad for me, was since my liver enzymes were probably low, since I wasn't getting as much liver bile salts as I was supposed to, or wasn't creating enough, I think my body was having a tough time sustaining itself on how much ketone production was going on. Essentially, there wasn't quite enough being produced by my liver for everything to function correctly. I was functioning maybe at 2/3 of what I was supposed to, or 3/4. And then by taking these salts, I think maybe that went ahead and just got the liver producing a little bit more, added another 20-30% to my bloodstream, and got everything working pretty good, and is really helped. Could be a placebo effect, could be absolutely nothing. All I know is my head feels pretty good, and that's great. It could also just have been I finally did get fully keto adapted. Maybe the brain stopped looking for sugars, which are, that starts with a G. I always forget this name. That's not glycol, glucose. My brain might have stopped looking for glucose or whatever. But with those in the system, everything's been going great. Yeah, so that's kind of where we're at. We've settled into about 2 pounds every week, roughly, give or take, or 1.5 pounds every week. No salt, or I'm sorry, no sugar, no carbohydrate cravings. I've had no real issues with that. I've thrown out a lot of stuff in my fridge, but mainly because it was going to spoil. If someone wants some Greek yogurt, I got a ton of that stuff. It's all sugar. I don't know why I never thought about it. Anyway, but like, there's still pretzels, chips, and all that stuff in my closet. Don't really care. For a lot of people that have like that really bad keto flu where they need that sugar, that hasn't hit me. The worst thing was mild headaches, and I can't complain losing that weight. I think I'm going to be back into 2XL t-shirts probably about this time next month. So that's kind of cool. Get back into some old clothes. I'd order a new belt. I had punched 2 holes in my current belt and to make it smaller, and I didn't order a new smaller belt, so to replace the one I'm currently wearing. So that'll be here tomorrow. Yay. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and cut this video here before it gets too long. I'm going to come back right after this with a video going much more into the thyroid, the bladder, and the gallbladder, and all that stuff. So there we go. 1 month update. Hopefully this will be a little more frequent weekly updates. Thanks for watching.